to Glittery Galaxy ASMR. I'm proud of you for taking time to relax and watch something just for fun.
Welcome back to me whispering. These little tiny jars with beads are going to be part of an entire miniature set of the gift shop in Gravity Falls, the Mystery Shack gift shop. I'm actually making miniature sets for most of the Mystery Shack. For some things I'm doing that you'll see eventually. And that's a big eventually because it's going to take forever. But I have to work on the sets, so why not let you hear me work on it. Lots of paintbrushes, more than I need. They're just there because I was just doing something else. Yeah, these are going to be the little jar of eyeballs, which show you a reference. There's always a little jar of eyes on the counter. And I think they're shown usually as blue eyes. You know? But I think in the opening sequence there are multiple colors. So I think what I'll do is for one of them I'll make them all blue. And then the backup eyeballs, because you have to have backup eyeballs, will be multicolored. So let's set that one over there. And this will be our blue one. I love tiny little cork. Oh my god. That was loud. I'm sorry. They're actually like slightly sparkly. I don't know if it'll focus really well. Yes, they look like little snowballs. Sorry about the paint all over my fingers. Round spherical beads are such a good stem thing. A lot of stem jewelry like that. So this one. I feel like I've been declawed. I always end up with long nails and then they all just one by one disappear until I have like one good tapper. I've been thinking about getting fake nails because fake nails, you know, are pretty and I could tap for you with them. But there's also a certain amount of sensory hell associated with them. I have a sensory processing disorder, which disorder makes it sound like I have trouble processing senses, but the actual for me, you know, in my case, it's the opposite. You can have a sensory processing disorder where you have trouble processing, but I am overly sensitive, is what it means. So I can smell things that other people can't smell and taste really just tiny differences that other people can't distinguish. And so certain sensations in this, certain textures, including of food, really get to me. And I can't I can't handle them. And I don't think I could deal with fake nails. I had a friend at a sleepover put them on me once. They were on me for all of like an hour and a half before I peeled them off painstakingly, because it's subtle, but just like the weight, the weight on my nails was wrong. Like my body knew it wasn't normal, and it was just like, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it. And it just pesters until I have to do something about it. I'm making the whole of the bead. I don't know if it's like focusing. Sorry, my nail is like gross. But you probably don't want it to focus. Just go over here. I'm having that be the pupil because, well, that way I can incorporate what's there instead of working against it. And your pupil is a hole anyway. Pretty sure that's why red eye in photographs happens. Is that it's, you know, the light is going into the back of your eyes and reflecting back red because, you know, there's blood back there. Like, blood that's supposed to be there, but blood. wish I could remember exactly what he says. But if you like Gravity Falls and you haven't obsessed about it as much as I have, I think it's pretty obvious by the fact that I'm making an entire miniature set. But Gravity Falls is one of my special interests. It's one of my biggest special interests. And so I make a point to try and watch as much of the stuff that goes with the show as I can, because there's the show, but there's also, there's the journal, like the book that's out that you can buy and read. There's the blacklight version of the journal, which has more information. There's like a coloring book, but it has a story to it. With like a creature that eats colors from a world. So if you color in the book, he starts to eat the color, and they have to defeat him. And there's like a Dipper and Mabel's Guide to book. There's a Choose Your Own Adventure book that's not canon to their timeline, but there is a secret page that is canon and is super important because it has the axolotl. And the axolotl is like a huge deal to that which is canon to Gravity Falls, but not in the show, openly. People might catch that Bill says the axolotl's name backwards when he's dying, quote unquote dying. But other than that, he's not really in the show. He's just in the other stuff. So there's more to what's going on than what they put in the show. So if you're interested in more information than what's out there, there's what's in the show, then, it's out there and you can go find it. But one of the things are these videos where they're those shopping channels, but it's the puppet stand doing commercials for Mystery Shack merchandise, and the episode of those where he's selling the jar of eyeballs. Bill calls in as a customer, and he's like, yeah, I can't remember which one he asks for. He asks for a specific type of eye. I think what he asks for are left eyes. I think he says that he has plenty of right eyes, but he doesn't have any lefts. And I thought that was interesting because, I'll have to look at it. But I'm pretty sure that it's Ford's right eye that is bleeding. In the journal, he says that he says that whenever Bill would possess his body, especially for long periods of time, Ford's eye would hurt terribly and would even start bleeding, and I'm pretty sure it's his right eye. And so that implies that when Bill is in a vessel that has two eyes, he still favors one more than the other because he's used to only having one, and whichever eye he asked for is not the one that he usually favors. I think he asked for left eyes because he usually favors right eyes. But I can't remember. But I do think that reading some of that extra material that's canon but not in the actual animated episodes, like the written stuff that I could just read to you, including Bill did an AMA on Reddit where he pretended that he was possessing, well, like Alex Hirsch, the creator of the show, pretended like he was being possessed by Bill, and used his body to get on Reddit and do an AMA. And so then Alex like answered people's question in character as Bill, and it's funny and amazing. And if you've ever seen people drawing Bill with Cinnamon Toast Crunch, like, that's why, is the Reddit AMA. But yeah, I might read some of those things, like the Lost Legends graphic novel, in which my favorite one, of course, is the one with baby Stans. I love little Stans. They're so small and precious. Okay, so we're not crazy. The theme song, opening bit. Come on, man. Does indeed have more than one color of eye. In the jar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I do 1, 2, 3 different shades of blue, 1, 2, 3 shades of green, and 1, 2, 3 shades of brown. How about that? So we'll do just the same blue we were doing before on this guy. Maybe. It's starting to give me sass. And then we'll do really light blue, this guy. What I was about to say is not relaxing, and I should shut up. I'm gonna say actual jars of eyeballs are super gross looking, because they're not so, like, woo, almost dropped it paint side down. Not so, well preserved as the ones. I mean, I know it's a cartoon, and it's for children, you know, I'm not complaining that they just look like regular eyeballs. And part of that's magic, because, like, they show you that the eye bats are actually what the jar of eyeballs come from, that they were originally eye bats. And then Ford put them in a jar, all crammed together, like friggin' inhumane conditions, Ford. Just because they're weird doesn't mean you can treat them like that. Okay, everyone seems to have stopped walking around and making noises now. So, green eyes. Fun fact about me, and maybe you, people listening, maybe this is you too. I have like more than one eye color, but within the same eyes. Like, I think my mom was listening to Ghostbusters upstairs. And I don't know why. But anyway, like, you might have heard of heterochromia, where you can have like your right eye is one color and your left eye is another. But I have two different color eyes within the same eye, which is called central or centralized heterochromia. And basically, sorry, I don't know why I think I can do ASMR when, like, I can't do two things. Like, I can't talk while I do things. I just get, like, really hyper-focused. Anyway, basically, you know, you have your pupil and your iris around your pupil. And this band is like a dark gray blue on me. And then, like, this far in is like a blue-green. But this is like a gold color. Like, there's a second color, like, in the middle. Can you see my eye color, or is it not clear? You can also have heterochromia where within the same eye, like, maybe over here it's a different color or something. But mine is central, like, right in the middle. There's like this gold, brownish, like an amber color, and then the rest of it's blue. And it's weird because I started out with completely blue eyes, and then over time they just started to look more and more like my mom's, because she has that too. And when I finally found out that, you know, central heterochromia was a thing, I found out that it sometimes does show up later in life. But right now I'm totally brain farting on what that's called. I think it's acquired heterochromia, where your eyes don't start out with multiple colors, but then as you get older, they change. And I kind of wondered at first, like, maybe I was wondering why at first I had it, and I still don't know for sure. I like taking off these little bits where the paint gets stuck. This came off of that one. Can you hear my dog's little toenails tap dancing across the floor right above me? It's kind of hilarious. But one reason that you can have heterochromia that I found out from the movie, I think it's called The Unborn, if you've seen it. This movie where it turns out that her family is haunted by a Dybbuk that wanted to be born as her twin brother, but she absorbed him in the womb, and so like her eyes start changing color, and her doctor was like, oh yeah, sometimes you get heterochromia from being a twin. And that's kind of how she started looking into it in the movie. I don't think that happened to me. I don't think I had a twin. I really don't. If you have something interesting about your eye color or your eyes in general, let me know in the comments. I'm always interested to hear about people having interesting eyes, because one of my favorite things in character design is, whoa, that's way too much paint. Okay, this one still has the little thingy on there. I'm just gonna scoop this up. Just gonna shovel this in there. Oh no. Anyway, I'm gonna do two just regular, solid brown eyes. People think that, I don't know, I feel like in cartoons and stuff and books, you always get like, oh, they're supposed to have like blue eyes to be so attractive. And I don't understand that, because I think brown eyes are gorgeous. Like, I know that brown eyes are a dominant gene and therefore they're more common, but I don't think that makes them any less pretty. Like, I like them because I especially like really, really dark brown eyes, where they just look so deep. It's gorgeous. So now I'm gonna leave a bunch of eyeballs on the basement floor while I make everyone's dinner, and hopefully nobody comes down here and is like, what the heck? But it's not like it's the weirdest art project I've had laying around. I'll show you when they're done. So, another one of the Gravity Falls miniatures that I'm working on are the little mystery boxes. So these are just little wooden cubes like that. But as you can probably see, the little question marks are kind of gloppy. Because they're so small, it was really hard to, get up in there with the tiny paintbrush. So I was thinking that I would take some sort of red pen and maybe try to clean up the edges a little bit. And I hope that there's not a lot of background noise to be overheard from upstairs, but I don't know. I think they might be loud enough to be heard, so I'm sorry. If it's too much, I might even just not upload this. Boop. So, this type of ink is probably more permanent, so I'm gonna try this first. This is probably like the ugliest, gloppiest question mark out of them. Let's see. Yeah, that's a little better. Will be strangely shiny from certain angles, I guess. But that's not too bad. And I feel like, the question mark on Seuss's shirt and that they sell at the shack, like, I feel like it looks like globby paint because it is. And I think they actually do show somebody painting them on there at one point, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's like an aesthetic font choice. I think it's just Stan being cheap. So it's okay if these look a little slobby, which is good for me, because I'm already putting an awful lot of time into something that it seems silly to put time into. But I am learning that if you really feel in your gut that you want to do it, then you should make time for it, because it might not be as silly as you think, and you might affect people's lives in a special way that you never knew you could. So you can see we've got the eyeballs over here, ready for pupil enhancement. I've got black marker. I'm gonna come in and define that a little more. I don't know why, but I have royals running through my head. Like, I don't think it was on the radio earlier, but my sister mentioned it for some reason. She might have been referencing something. We speak in quotes and references a lot. And they're usually like very particular, kind of obscure references. Like to episodes of old shows or weird videos that like nobody remembers seeing. Like we quote Angry Beavers a lot. That cartoon was like the start of me loving Richard Horvitz as a voice actor because he was Daggett. And I went to the fair, or was it Six Flags? I live in Kentucky, so like you'd think I would have gone to Six Flags more often, but I'm super scared of roller coasters because I'm like, you know, I'm not opposed to the feeling that I'm going to fall and die. I'm opposed to getting that sensation on a roller coaster because I'm afraid it might happen for real, you know? Because, you know, humans make mistakes. And in the case of a roller coaster, that mistake could make me dead. I don't know. I've just heard too many, like, stories of people ending up horribly hurt. But there's, like, a tiny roller coaster, and I like that because I'm like, if I fall, I don't fall that far. So it's like, if the thing breaks, I might break some bones, but not die. So, but anyway, one time I was either at the state fair or Six Flags or something, and they had at one of those games where you throw the darts at the balloons. The prizes were like the big prize was a gigantic plush of Norb or Dag from Angry Beavers, and my dad let me put down enough money to play until I won the big one. So now I have a big fat Daggett plushie that honestly I should use in a video. I should do like an old cartoon, like not old, but like cartoons that aren't on anymore really. Video, like themed trigger video, and use him because, you know, like how fair prizes, like they're not filled with like really nice polyfill or anything. They're full of like the little styrofoam beanbag beads. So he's got like a soft fur sound, but also like a crunchy styrofoam sound. So I don't know, you might like him. My sister has Funko Pops, I think, of Dagonorb, and they're like kinda, I'm pretty sure they're like kinda velvety. So I could put those in the video too. I know that around that time I used to watch like Real Monsters or whatever it's called, and I know I loved it, but I don't remember it, like anything from it. I just remember what the characters look like, and that's all. And it's, I don't know, it's kind of weird having a memory of like really enjoying it, but not so much a memory about why. Trying to think. I used to watch. Whoa. No. They're gonna roll around. I'm gonna put it near the microphone. You can at least enjoy the sound. I used to watch Out of the Box, which I guess is no surprise considering I'm like doing little DIY crafty stuff right now. I love the exit song to Out of the Box, like more than the, you know, like I liked the opening song too, but not as much as the exit song. I don't know that I can like sing it softly enough that it would be ASMR, but I might just like try to sing it really softly and edit it out if it's too loud or something. But they would always like drum on something, like a pumpkin in the Halloween one. It's so long, farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye for now, until we meet again. It's been great to play and sing together in the box, but now it's time to say goodbye. I said so long, farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye for now, until we meet again. Goodbye for now, until we meet again. Yeah, I don't know. This is another, I can't show you me making it because it was already made before I started making these videos, but I can show it to you, you know, another miniature for the shack. Let's see if you can see it. Focus. Here, I gotta do that beauty YouTuber thing, maybe. If you can see, I used nail polish on the tongue because that makes it kind of glossy. And what I did is I just had like Sculpey clay and made the shape, including the little like thing it's on. I just painted it to look like wood. I'm gonna beauty YouTuber it again. But then after I made it, out of clay, I put the fake fur over it and then like trimmed it down, and then I put a little bead for the eye so it would sparkle. But it's the little barnacorn that's mounted on the wall. I might make the nose shiny too as like an afterthought, but let me see if I can find a reference photo of it.
maybe my little tap sounds on the iPad will come through. Sorry if you could hear my dad just yelling. Hopefully I cut it out. There we go. Little barnacorn. Easy. Computer. I'm severely backlit. Help me. Yeah, just clay and fur. The color of the fur was better before I trimmed it, but it was way too long. So if I were to do it over again, I would get something that wasn't like two-tone. And if you want to make one, I would suggest not getting clay that's two-tone. I mean, not clay. Not getting fur that's two-tone. I'm gonna rub it on the microphone. I don't know if it's gonna sound good. Yeah, I don't know if it'll sound good to rub it on the microphone, but if it doesn't, I'll just take it out. He's gonna eat you. Even in death, I can chomp. He looks like a gopher. It's a bear. I don't know. More Gravity Falls miniatures. This is for the living room, not the mystery shack. This is going to be the axolotl tank. And this is... honestly, I don't know what it is. It's this little thing behind them, behind the chair on the wall, that it's got like an image of water and trees and a waterfall, and then it's like lit from the back. This is not the light I'm gonna use, by the way. The reason I drew on this, the reason I did it on this material and drew on it is because it's like clear. It's actually a transparent plastic folder. I use those a lot because they're really easy to cut, and you can get like something transparent that is like a color that you want pretty easily, and cut it in the shape you need pretty easily. So I used a yellow one, but it's got like a little roof on it. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it's called. I can put up a picture, but this was originally gonna be for starting to do more to the axolotl tank, but because this paper has a white core instead of being brown all the way through, when you cut it out, it's ugly. So I was like, okay, what's something else I can use? And I was like, foam is actually a lot better of an idea. And I know this is purple and not brown, but I was thinking if I painted like the wood grain over it, it might actually look nicer to have purple undertones that were like really subtle. So I'm going for this, and this will actually look better because it's thicker. So
I'm gonna cut this out on here. But better. Sweet. Do my fingers farting on the paper relax you? I hope so. Otherwise, I'll be kind of mad. One thing I noticed is I cut this bigger than I should have. So I'm not going to trace this out right. I'm going to come in a little bit with it. If it's not enough, I guess I'll do it again. See how that goes. I love scissor noises. I don't know about you. Sorry, my mom's down there being loud. Not as loud as it would be if I was in the basement. Cha-cha. That's my favorite. I feel like that's not centered. I wonder if it matters. Okay. Okay, cool. I think that's good. I think it's like way bigger than it used to be, and I can trim it down. Nice. If you're better with scissors than an X-Acto knife, as long as you get it started, you can move on to scissors. Sometimes. Depends on what you're making. Depends on the design. This is my design. I don't know if you any of you watch the NBC version of Hannibal. If you have Amazon Prime, it's on there. You can watch the whole 3 seasons. This sadly ended before they wanted it 2 seasons. But one thing about the fact that it got canceled is that, like, in the last season they were like, alright, well then we're gonna be even gayer, because what are you gonna do? Cancel me? So they just went full fanfiction in season 3, and it's beautiful. But yeah, I like that show. It's artsy, and it's Hannibal. Like, I always love. I just love that character. Hannibal right there. Pretentious little fancy boy eats rude people. just really like the wording. I want to read the books. Somebody said that the way people speak on the NBC's Hannibal is like what it would sound like if a bunch of vampires were stoned. And I'm like, that's accurate, but I also love it. Like, that's accurate, but not an insult, you know? The fandom is very, like, a lot of the humor in the fandom is surprisingly light, considering the nature of the show. It's like the nature of the show is much heavier than the tone of the fandom. Like, I mean, there's angst for sure. Like, it's canonical angst, but like, there's also a lot of purposefully misspelled memes and things of that nature. Now, I am pretty darn sure that there are 2 cabinet doors on the front of this freaking thing, but I ought to be sure. You just ought to be sure. So I gotta get me a reference image. Excuse me. I made eye contact with my dog when I went downstairs. And now I feel guilty for not being with him. Let me open up my listen to my iPad sounds, maybe. If they're not interesting, I'll cut them out. My unnecessarily heavy breathing just from running up and down the stairs. I'm really out of shape. Artists are commonly easily wounded. We spend most of our time so stationary with so many forms of art. You just have to sit there for hours and hours and hours. Sit there or like stand in generally one place. Not a lot of running around usually. Okay, well, first of all, first of all, this is what I'm talking about. This thing. Is what I'm trying to make here. But secondly, oh yeah, glad I checked because there are 3 long cabinets and then 3 shorter drawers above them. Check it out. Although it looks different in different pictures. Not that, you know, like, that's not a big deal. I'm not trying to fault the show for inconsistencies in really unimportant aspects. because how thick the edge detail of the axolotl tank is in each image. That's not that important. I've got the little shrunken heads made already, but I don't have any hair on them yet, so I'll either do a video where I'm putting the hair on, or I will just show them to you once the hair is on. Do hair brushing sounds on the little miniature shrunken heads. 'Cause how charming is that? Oh, so relaxing. Look at the gore. Speaking of relaxing to the sound of things that maybe shouldn't be relaxing, we're not too indelicate ASMR for being hilarious and doing things like torture, but relaxingly somehow. Yeah. 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 Okay. That's the case. I'm trying to line them up. No, those are too big. Mm-mm. Yeah. How about this side? This is no longer need as a template. I can just cut out cute little roof shingles. Hmm. Ow. Where'd this come from? Just a random piece of grass. Like, what? I'm not being precise with this at all. I'm going for like semi-personal crappiness. I mean semi-personal. Semi-intentional. I'm gonna go closer so you can see what I'm actually doing. Sorry about that. Hire me to make your roof. It'll be so horrible. Oh no. The glue ripped off the color. I swear, like, the little spider webs of glue that come off of the glue gun make me anxious. Because I feel like they just keep coming and they just keep coming. Well, the glue starts coming and it don't stop coming. We need more monkeys. There aren't any more. That's the whole barrel. hopefully you can't hear them. If it's obnoxious, I would have cut it out, but parents are down there talking about like side effects of certain medicines. Those are always the fun part of the commercial, right? They're like, this might help you a little bit with something that's mildly inconvenient, but they will give you a heart attack. You know? They're like, yeah, we tested this on like 3 white people, so it's totally safe. And there totally will not be a bunch of commercials a year from now where lawyers are like, oh, did you take this medication? Because now you're entitled to compensation because it's terrible. I'm trying to like be relaxed by making this not very good. Like, I'm trying to be like, oh, you know, don't be perfectionistic. It'll make it so much more relaxing and not stressful to do. But the ugliness of it is actually stressing me out. So I try. I'm trying to make it, I mean, it kind of looks like that in the show. So I'm trying to make it have that same attitude. More monkeys again. Gosh, that's a Toy Story 1 quote. If anybody's like, what the heck are you talking about? Every time I say we need more monkeys, I'm just talking about Toy Story. Ow, my body. Do you ever... Do scissors ever just like pinch the heck out of your thumb because of the particular hand position you've got going on? E. Oh. E. Okay. And once I've got the whole miniature set done, I can use it for backgrounds to make ASMR roleplays where I have specific plans for the miniature set, but I can also use it for that. I also already have plans in the works for Gravity Falls role plays that don't require these miniature sets to be done, so you can expect it either way. Oh gosh, I put it on backwards. Now it's ruined. I'm layering too much on top. Now it's gonna... It's okay. It's supposed to look like crap. Everything's fine. Let it go. Don't sing let it go. Just let it go. I'll eat your babies. Get out of here. I'm sorry I keep ending up out of the range of the camera. Hopefully the sounds are worth it though. Maybe you're asleep by now. And you don't care. I think the thing is the camera is casting a shadow, and so I'm unconsciously like, I can't see, you know. Hooray! I need to cover the side though. Let's see. Here to there. It's not showing up. Try another one. Huh. Let me see. Yay! Fits. Now I need another one. Whoops.
Welp. Let's see. I guess it would be good to glue these on before painting. So let me see what I got as far as that goes. Let's see. Oh my gosh, guys. I just got a notification that something I ordered for these videos has arrived. I just got something in the mail that I was going to use to entertain you. So, hopefully that turns out amazing. Kind of stoked to make tiny little handles for all of these because tiny versions of things bring joy to my face. Which reminds me of a Tumblr post I saw. And if you're under 18, cover your ears for a minute. But somebody was like, I really just love miniature versions of things. And they get this reply that's like, well, then you are just gonna adore my penis. And that reminds me of another Tumblr post, which is like one of my favorite ones of all time. Somebody saying, I prefer guys that make small D jokes over guys that make big D jokes. And they get this response, I got a medium D. It can talk to ghosts. I love that joke so much. If you hate terrible puns, this is not a good place for you to be. Because I do those a lot. Well, I think I might stop on this for today. And update you when I do more to it. Hey, so the top of this thing just, it needs a little bit of paint because, you know, looks, I think it would look a little better, even though it's supposed to look like butt to a certain extent, like, I think it would look a little better without the white being such obvious paper. Bubble. I hope you could hear that, because I could, and it was like very satisfying noise.
still looks like butt, but like a certain kind of butt. Before I glue this on to the base thingy, this part, I need to get up in these little edges, make them not purple anymore. Just gotta take this little brush, this little bitty one. Let me know if you like that voice. Maybe I'll do a whole roleplay with that voice. If you like the little tiny voice like this. It's like low-key and ooh-woo type of voice. If you want me to, I'll do like a whole video that's just me like doing that voice. I could do one where I'm reading memes, like memes with uwu, and do the uwu voice. There's a limit. There are certain ones I won't read. I'll do the little tiny voice for you if you want me to. Sometimes I do this voice for my dog. Sometimes I make my dog talk like that. If I haven't already by the time I post this, I will almost certainly eventually post videos with my dog.
It's your hair, did you? You may messing up your hair. I made you sigh at me. Give me my arm.
If nothing else, I'll like post a video where I link to a separate channel with my dog. I've been gathering together all of the videos and pictures I have of him on all my different devices. Collecting the infinity pumpkins so that I could start to compile them in videos and show you guys my dog named Pumpkin. He's a mess. He's a Papillon mix. But we don't know what he's mixed with. Chaos, probably. Should probably just leave it alone. It's like it dries fast, but I don't know. It's probably okay. It's probably okay. Let's figure this out. I know that this needs to be lined up. So we can start with that. I don't know if I've ever used hot glue and foam before, so this should be interesting. Let's see. So far, so good. Get out of there. Glue spider. You're a dumbass and you burn yourself. Okay. This is the part I'm a little, like, weary about. I don't know how well it's gonna take to bending. I don't know. Doesn't seem to be a problem. But I need more glue. I can't do it without glue. I need glue. Please glue. Oh, shoot. Okay, that's one thing I forgot. One thing I forgot is that it's open on the sides. Well, then I'll have to cut it out. And like right here. Boom. Bam. Nobody look at it. Yeah, it's a little bit messed up. But there's gonna be a thing right here. There are like, I guess you could call it like a pillar on either side. Okay, let me see. I feel like I should go ahead and glue it down and then cut out the sides, because then I can use the feeling of like what's lifted and what isn't to determine where to cut. then, you know, maybe I'll even decide not to have it open on the sides. I don't know yet. That would be kind of stupid. I'll probably open it up on the sides. But I think I need to do some measuring because I think this side comes out longer than this one. It's a little wonky. But it looks a lot more legit than it did when it was just the black box. So it's getting there. We'll see, I guess. Gosh, what a mess. Guess we'll just see. Although, let me see. It looks like with the light. Let's see. It'll have a back to it though.